Alright, let's talk about something that might be wrecking your code without you even noticing. Feature envy. Yeah, it's got a fancy name, but here's the deal. It's when one part of your code is so obsessed with another part that it can't stop poking around in its business. It's needy, it's messy, and if you let it stick around, it'll cost you in ways you don't even want to think about. So what is feature envy really? How do you find it? And most importantly, how do you put it in its place? Stick with me and I'll show you how to take control and clean up your code like a pro. Feature envy happens when one class, or a function, won't stop digging into another class's data or methods. It's like that one guy in a group project who's all over everybody else's business instead of just doing his part. Picture this. You've got a customer class and an invoice class. The invoice class should be doing its own thing, calculating totals, adding taxes, whatever. But instead it's constantly asking customer for details, loyalty points, discounts, maybe even what kind of coffee it likes. And sure, maybe it works for now, but guess what? The second you change anything in customer, your invoice class starts whining. You're stuck cleaning up the fallout. Here's where it gets ugly. Feature envy makes your code fragile. Fragile code means bugs. Bugs mean late nights, missed deadlines, and looking like you don't have your act together. If you don't handle it early, feature envy often grows into inappropriate intimacy, where classes become so entangled that refactoring feels like dismantling a house of cards. I've covered inappropriate intimacy in details in another video. Check it out. It'll help you recognize when your code is too friendly for its own good. And if that's not bad enough, feature envy can also lead to shotgun surgery. That's when a small change in one class triggers a cascade of edits across your entire code base. Sound familiar? If so, I got a video on shotgun surgery you'll want to watch. It's all about breaking the cycle of constant, frustrating fixes. Here's how you deal with feature envy. You take back control. Classes should handle their own responsibilities, period. If one class is poking around where it doesn't belong, you fix it by moving the logic to the right place. Let's go back to that invoice example. If invoice is calculating discounts using data from customer, flip the script. Make customer handle the discount math. It knows its own rules, and invoice can stay focused on totals. So instead of this, refactor it to this. Now customer handles its business, and invoice doesn't care about the details. That's how you keep your code lean and mean. Now let me hit you with a power move. Don't overdo it. Yes, you want to clean up feature envy, but if you start cramming every responsibility into one class, you'll end up with a god object. And trust me, nobody wants that. A better approach is to follow solid principles, especially the single responsibility principle. It's a core concept for keeping each class focused on one job and avoiding entanglements. If you're not already using Solid, start now. It's a game changer. I've got a video on the Solid principles that breaks them down step by step. Give it a watch and thank me later. And don't ignore data clumps either. There's a major red flag for feature envy. If you notice group fields being passed around, consider where they belong in a single class. I dive deep into this in my data clump video. Perfect for learning how to spot and eliminate them before they create even bigger problems. Here's the bottom line. Feature envy is a sign of weak design. And weak design, that's not how you roll. When you refactor and clean it up, you're not just fixing a bug. You're making your code stronger, faster, and ready for whatever's next. So next time you spot a class snooping around where it doesn't belong, don't hesitate. Lock it down, clean it up, and keep your system running like a well-oiled machine.